Hi, I'm Chad Owens, and this is IT Security Tips, and we're talking today about phishing emails and how to spot a phishing email. If you don't know what phishing is, you might be living in a cave because phishing emails are all over the place now, but I'll explain it. Phishing email is a bogus email that is meant to make you click on a link or an attachment and is either going to try and get information out of you or money out of you. That's usually what's going on with a phishing email. It's a fake email that looks convincingly real. Very convincingly real. Now, phishing has all kinds of subcategories. You have whaling, you have spear phishing, you have all kinds of phishing. But in this big umbrella of phishing emails, the basic idea is that they send you something fake that convinces you that it's real, and you click on it and you fall for it. That's as simple as I can make it. Now, these emails often look 100% legitimate, and they show up in the form of sometimes a PDF document, or somebody from UPS or FedEx tracking number, or a bank letter, or a Facebook alert, or a bank notification, etc. Something that you would normally get in your email, and it looks very real. So how do you defend against these dangerous fake emails? Because they look exactly like the legitimate emails that you might be getting. So how can you tell the real from the fake? Well, first tip for you is if you can't tell that it's fake, assume it's fake. That way you're safe. Don't click on any links in email. Just assume it's fake. The problem is with that, it's easier said than done, because as you do work all day and you rely heavily on your email, you're trying to do things quickly throughout the day and you're clicking on a link. And oftentimes you click on that link, it's going to load a web page and you're fine. But if you do this on a phishing email, say you've got 9 emails that are legitimate from a customer, and oh look, this says it's from Tom. I've just received 10 mails from Tom. Here's a link. I'll click on it, and then you're gone. Sometimes they'll even bring up fake websites that look convincingly real. How do you defend against that if you can't ignore it? Okay, here's a couple things. Again, I always advise to ignore it because it's the safest. But if you can't, hover your mouse over that link in the email. You'll see if you hover your mouse over the link, then at the top or the bottom of your email, you're going to see an actual website kind of pop up or be written out. And I want you to examine that website. For example, let's say the link has an Amazon.com tracking number. It says on the email, it says Amazon.com. But when you move that mouse over it and look, it's going to tell you it's actually AMA-Z-ON.com. It looks like Amazon.com, but it's not. See, in the text body of your email, they can make it say whatever they want. They could make it say Amazon.com, but when you click on it, they can make it go to UPS.com or their fake website. They can make it do whatever they want. So don't click on that link until you hover over it first. The second thing you could do is you can highlight that whole link and then manually type it in to your web browser. It takes a little bit longer, but that way you're not following some fake link. So that's another thing you could do. Obviously have excellent email filtering going on because that will also tend to weed out phishing, and even if it suspects that it's phishing, it's going to put it in your junk mail folder. Okay. Another telltale sign is grammar and spelling errors. Now, this used to be a telltale sign, and it sort of still is, because if the grammar sort of feels off, then it could be a fake email, a phishing email. But more than that, if the style of the email doesn't feel like the style of the person that normally is writing you, if it just doesn't feel like that, you know what I mean when you read somebody's style. Sometimes they have more lines or carriage returns or spaces, or they use certain words. You can tell if they're a close relationship. You can tell when the email doesn't quite sound like them. If it doesn't sound like them, it's probably fake. What you want to do is you want to verify or validate, especially anytime it has to do with money, any kind of banking or credit cards. You want to call and validate that they sent you an email. If you're not expecting an email from your bank or your credit card or from Google or whoever, you want to validate that that email is real by calling them, sending them another email saying, hey, I got this email from you. Is this real? Always be suspicious. It will serve you well when it comes to these scams. Why do all these scams come through? Because they work. A large percentage of phishing emails work. If I were to send out 100,000 phishing emails and it only worked 10% of the time, that's still 10,000 responses that I will get for either money or information that I could use to turn into money later. So be careful when it comes to phishing. If somebody sends you an email and they're asking for questions, especially if it's your bank, they should already have the information that they're asking you for. If they're asking for your social security number, they're asking for your name, they're asking for your address, they should already have that information in their files. So you can just ignore those emails. But finally, if you can't ignore it, if you get a phishing email, this is my advice. If it seems too good to be true, then it is too good to be true, and ignore it or delete it. If it invokes a feeling of urgency in you, of rush and of panic, like, oh no, I've got to do this, then it's fake and throw it out. Because these emotions that it stirs up in you are the same emotions they used even before electronics to do confidence games and to trick you, is to get you to feel like you need to respond before you have enough time to process and think it through. Because they want to evoke an emotional response. So if you feel like, oh no, I'm in trouble, or I've got a rush, or any kind of panic, that is highly indicative that it's a phishing email. So I hope that made sense. Once again, if it's suspicious, ignore it. Become more suspicious, doubt it, never click on a link in an email. I hope this helped. Thank you, and thanks for listening.